Radio Now 100.9's Indy Connection with Emily Matheny.
Hello, I'm Emily Matheny, your host. This week, I had the chance to speak with Elliot Stubblefield, the Multicultural Community Outreach Manager for the Indiana Donor Network. We talked about donor eligibility, some misconceptions on organ donation, National Minority Donor Month, and more. But first, Elliot told us about the organization.
Indiana Donor Network is an organ procurement organization, and our mission is really saving and enhancing the quality of life through organ, eye, and tissue donation and transplantation. So our overall focus is making sure that we share the gift of life for whatever means possible, and we also are part of the process, the transplantation process.
Mm-hmm. With the Indiana Donor Network, is this when someone is living or after they pass? How does that work?
We primarily deal with deceased donation, and so basically when a person signs up on the registry, whether it be the Bureau of Motor, BMV, or using their cell phone or on DonateLifeIndiana.org, we facilitate that process from the initial interaction all the way through family support afterwards.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the eligibility requirements to be an organ donor?
Well, what we try to focus on is getting everybody to sign up, and then after, we allow our medical officials or doctors and things like that make the determination if a person is a match. As far as a successful transplantation, there's a process to that that includes various different matching, size of the organ, the blood type, certain chemical makeups of the organ. We do everything we can in the testing process to make sure that ultimately that the transplant is successful.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned the BMV. So when you sign up to get your driver's license, or is it also your state ID, can you be an organ donor?
Yes, ma'am, you can.
So do you have to be 15, 16 to register as a donor, or can I do it later in life? How does the registration part work?
Well, normally the initial the initial interaction a person has to the donation process through the BMV, that's normally the first time most people hear that question, do you want to be a donor? So it's as early as getting a state ID, and then whenever, you update your ID or decide to get a new ID or you can get an ID, so there's no limitation on, you signing up to be a donor. Excellent.
And you mentioned this, that you're trying to get everyone to sign up, and August is the National Minority Donor Month. Can you talk a little bit about the work to get everyone, including minorities, to sign up to be an organ donor?
This is actually the 25th anniversary of National Minority Donor Awareness Month, and so we do a big push, whether it be through doing different events or partnering with organizations that are already doing things in the community to educate more people about organ, tissue, and eye donation. Our goal is to encourage people to sign up the best way we can, but we also promote healthy living and disease prevention to decrease the need for transplantation. So we're not literally just trying to, force people to sign up. We really are trying to educate people on the process so they can make an educated decision about signing up.
Mm-hmm. And can you talk a little bit about how the benefits of really trying to be proactive and trying to prevent someone from needing an organ donation?
Healthy living is just the way to go. Our goal is not that people pass away at all. We promote healthy living. Even in the office, my manager decided to buy us all, healthy smoothies. So she walked through the office and said, hey, everybody got to get healthy. Everybody got to get healthy. So it just, that's kind of our culture. We have several people that do Zumba and dance and all kinds of stuff like that. And we're always discussing about different active things that we can do. So we really promote a healthy lifestyle to alleviate, people from even being on the waiting list.
And you mentioned the waiting list, Elliot. How many people are currently on the waiting list?
Nationwide, it's over 100,000 people on the waiting list. So it's a very large number, and so our goal and our mission is really to reduce that number, and also to get people one, to ultimately not even end up on that number, but also to get those people off that list and getting them a successful transplantation.
Mm-hmm. And then if someone is in need of an organ donation, how do they get on that list?
Well, they go to the transplant center. It's a medical process. So, of course, they're dealing with their physicians and nurses and things like that to get them navigated to that process to get on the transplant list.
Mm-hmm. You kind of mentioned how it is a medical process. How does being a donor affect your medical care?
It doesn't affect your medical care at all. I mean, if you think, nobody really shows their ID to their doctor. So when you're going to a doctor for a cold or whatever, you're not really discussing the donation process. So it doesn't affect your medical care. People don't lessen your medical care because you are on the transplant list. I mean, the whole goal of people in the medical field is to save and heal lives. So they probably wouldn't be in that field long if that wasn't their goal. So that's their sworn duty. That's their mission in life. That's how they mark their success, is how to save and heal lives. And we are part of that saving and healing process. So we support, we are supported by, many doctors and medical professionals in the effort to save and heal lives.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other preconceived notions or any other myths that people think about and think that they shouldn't become a donor? How can we kind of bust those myths that people think will affect their health care?
Well, just to be true, we focus on, we know there are myths out there. We know there's preconceived notions. We know that people, that bad information travels faster than good information. We know all that. So what we try to do is really focus on the positive aspect of the donation process. So when I encounter a myth, whether it be like the one you just brought up about the medical system and about EMTs and other things like that, I try to give them good information, because a lot of the myths are based on information they just don't have. Mm-hmm. And so most of the people I've had a conversation with, they've even, because I'm out in the community, I'm at events, I'm at, school events, so I interact literally with the community. So when they come initially with that, even finding out what I do within my family, what I try to do is give them good information. And when they actually have good information that can be proven, a lot of people are just like, the light bulb goes off. And they go like, I don't see why this would be a bad idea. I'm sorry for ever even thinking this way. But it's what the issue with bad information is, just travels so fast. So, we have a, uphill struggle. We're literally, out in the community trying to get as much information out there. That's why we're on the radio. That's why we'll do TV. We'll do, schools and things like that. We have a whole team dedicated to getting this information out.
If I'm looking for more information about how to sign up to be an organ donor, or just to find more information to educate myself, where can I find that information?
You can go to donatelifeindiana.org. Again, that's donatelifeindiana.org. And we have a lot of different information on there about signing up. We have, you can look at different videos and things like that. And then ultimately, after you gather all the information from that one very detailed site, you can actually even sign up on that site also.
And anyone of any age or ethnicity or nationality can sign up, right?
Yes, ma'am. There's no restriction dealing with any of those at all.
Excellent. And kind of continuing after I sign up, what happens?
Basically, you sign up, and then, in the event of, a person's passing, that person will be contacted, or their family will be contacted by our professionals that are trained to deal with, the grief process. Someone will come there, to the hospital and discuss how the process goes, and literally walk them through the process hand to hand, and then support each person, each donor hero, as we call, and their family through that process. So that's we are very strategic about reducing the amount of grief that's involved with this process, or the amount of shock to the system. So we have trained professionals that interact with every family of a donor hero, and then we support them for years down the line.
That's amazing. And so how does I know as someone goes through the process, they'll be getting all of this support, but just for people who would like to know, how does it affect the funeral process?
It doesn't affect the funeral process at all. We've actually we have a team that also deals with that, by providing training and interaction with funeral homes. We contact the funeral home, make arrangements, and we support the funeral home through the process of preparing the body for a funeral that's you wouldn't even know you come into a funeral, you wouldn't even know that person was a donor unless it was identified, by the family.
Just to reiterate, you can sign up throughout your entire life. So how can, for like the younger people who are starting to get their license and things like that, how can we start that conversation before they're asked at the BMV?
We're in the schools. I actually do school presentations, so you can book. You can go on DonateLifeIndiana.org and book a speaker. You can have us come to your churches. You can have us come to your social events. You can have us come to your festivals. Radio, TV, wherever. Where I tell people all the time, if you want me to come and talk to two people and have a conversation with them, if it means somebody's lives get saved, I'll come and have a conversation with you. I'll come and talk to you on a bus stop. So it's just, that's our job, is really to get out there and get in the community. But mainly we go into the school system and we, build relationships with school districts where they come in, meet with us, find out what we're doing, and then they invite us to their classrooms and to their auditoriums to talk to the students.
Mm-hmm. And then with one donation, how many people can that help?
It can save up to 83 lives. It can save and heal up to 83 lives. So, there's certain organs and things like that are just life-saving, heart, lungs, things like that, kidneys. And then, there's tissue donation that can also help heal people that have, burn victims. You can donate your corneas to help somebody get their sight or correct their sight. It's up to 83 lives can be touched by one person.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And so if someone wants to sign up to be an organ donor, they can go to donatelife.org?
DonateLifeIndiana.org.
Perfect.
Or they can sign up at the BMV. Or actually, if they want to, they can go, if they have an Apple phone, they can go to the health app, click on their name right below that. You'll see that donation question right there.
Technology is amazing.
It is. we just need Android to get on board. That's all.
It's coming. It's got to be coming. So, Elliot, as we start to wrap up, what else do people need to know? Is there anything we missed?
Just the truth is that, over 100,000 people are on that list that are waiting for the opportunity to have that transplant. Sad to say, only about 1% of people that even sign up are actually able to be a donor because, of course, the matching process has to be perfect for that, that transplant to be successful. So we want that 1% to be as large as possible. And, what I tell everybody is, if it was you, how would you feel? Would you want somebody to donate? If it was your family member, would you want somebody to donate? And most people say yes. Like I've had one person say, no, I wouldn't donate to my mother, or, but I think we're trying to do a better job of informing the community, getting them real information. My suggestion is, of course, do your research, find good information. Bad information is there every day, but good information actually takes work to find it. So, make an educated decision and sign up and save a life.
Excellent. And just one more time, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. And the more people we have, the more potential matches we have as well, correct?
Exactly. The more people we have, the more, there's a pool that can be pulled from that can, be a more successful match the more people we have.
Excellent. Elliot, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, ma'am. Just, make sure everybody signs up to, at the BMV or, DonateLifeIndiana.org or, on your cell phone. Make sure you go and find some good information. Again, you can start at DonateLifeIndiana.org and sign up to save a life.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining me this week, and please join me again next week. If you want to reach out or have topics you'd like to hear more about or would like me to cover, email me at ematheny, that's EMETHENY, at radio-one.com. Or you can hit me up on Twitter at EmilyDoesVideo. To hear previous editions of Indy's Connection, visit RadioNowIndy.com and search Indy's Connection at the top. Until next time, have a great week.
Radio Now 100.9's Indy Connection with Emily Matheny.